Hey, welcome to this Literacy Shed Adobe Express challenge. In this tutorial, we're going to create an attention-grabbing newspaper front cover inspired by the film Dreamgiver. If you need free Adobe Express for Education accounts for your school, visit the link on screen and there you'll find all the other free things we do for schools like live lessons, teacher training and lesson packs. Let's get on with the challenge.
Let's create our own newspaper front cover by going to the plus on the left-hand side. You can use poster or flyer. Poster is going to give you slightly more space for text, but I haven't got much text, so I'll go for flyer. And the first thing I'm going to do is rename my project. Okay, so let's get some text in there. I'm going to give a name to our newspaper. And I want this to be on 2 lines, but I want it to match perfectly side to side. So I'm going to pop that up the top, but I'm also going to put a shape around it. I'm going to use this kind of square one here, and then I can play with the color. So I can press this button right in the middle here. Text fill, I want that to be white. And for shape fill, I want that to be red. Okay, in terms of the text itself, you can go and look at your recommended text here to see if there's something that you like better. Actually, that one's cool. I'm going to use that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a headline in there. So again, let's go to text, add your text, paste it in there. Again, I want this to match perfectly side to side. So I'm going to go to text, layouts, go to dynamic. Nice, that looks good. Classic dad joke there. And I'm going to pop it just underneath. Maybe what I'll do is I'll change the line spacing so it just tucks up nicely. You can see that there. And then in terms of the size of text, I think I want to make it chunkier. So let's go for bold here. That looks really nice. And you can play with the size so it kind of matches side to side with the title at the top if you like, and then just push it into position using that little arrow there.
Hey, I hope you're having fun so far. Teachers, if you'd like a PDF mapping this activity to the NCCE Teach Computing curriculum, follow the link that's on screen now. Okay, back to the challenge.
Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a picture in there. So let's go to media, and I'm going to use text to image. Now you can search photos for something like town square, for example. And if there's something in here which you think, oh, that looks like what I imagine the town centre of the Dreamgiver to be, like that one, for example, then that's fine. You can use that and you can crop off the side here, for example, and then pop it into position and make it as big or as small as I like. There we go. You can do that if you like, but I'm going to delete that. I'm going to use text to image. I'll go for a portrait because I still want it to be tall and narrow so I can get my text in down the side. So I'm going to roughly position it around about there and get ready to put my text in. A yellow glow in the sky over a small town with a big clock tower and some shops around the town square. Content type, I want it to be photo. I want it to look like someone's actually taken a photo here, and then I'll click generate. That first one is absolutely perfect. A yellow glow in the sky. This one's really good as well. Actually, I really like that, or maybe even this one. That looks great. Once you select it, just click on the side, and that will be all done. Next thing I'm going to do is I've got my text, my newspaper article that I've written. Now, I'm going to make sure before I do this that it's, maybe I'll do light, or even maybe just regular. Now this text is really quite big. So I'll just reduce it down. You can use the minus button there and then paste it in. Now obviously this text is huge now, so let's start making sure that it fits in the space that we've got. I'm going to use these side handles here to resize it. I'll move it down as well until it's roughly at the start of the right position where I want it to be. And then what I'll need to do is I'll need to bring the size of the text down. With this box, you can start dragging it out so it matches the lines down the side, for example. But this text can now be bigger because we have some of that space. That's about right. But it's also center aligned. So let me make it left aligned. That looks pretty good. But there's a lot of text that's being chopped off at the side. That looks a lot better. We don't want too many things being chopped off at the side. Okay, nice. I'm happy with that. And last but not least, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little something down the bottom where my readers can go and read more about this story on page 5. But let's play around with it. I'm going to make it dynamic. I want it to fit all on one line. So let's play around with this here. I'll bring it into somewhere where we can see better what is going on. I want it to go all on one line. There we go. So you just have to play with the circles on the side. Put that roughly into a good position. I want it to be centered. There's around about there. I think that looks good. But I also want to make this stand out. So I'm going to go to shape. That's the kind of shape I want. But I want the shape to be the same as the red on the top. So let me use my dropper tool and go and select that there. But then the text isn't very easy to read with this red background. So let's change the text fill color to white, or even maybe yellow. I could even use my dropper tool and match it to the sky background, which is quite cool. And to make it easier to read, I'm going to come back out of shape here and make sure that this is selected to bold. It's still sort of hard to read, so I'm going to keep on playing with it. I'm going to go to shape again and maybe use that one there. That's making it easy to read. And also, even though it's the same fill color of the text, I think I want to make it slightly lighter, just so it's slightly easier to read. Nice. That is all perfect. I'm looking at my text here, and I think I'm going to go to my recommended, and I'm going to look for something slightly different. There we go. I want it to be italicized, so it has a slight slant on it. And there we go. I'm really happy with all of that. I can download it as an image by clicking download there. It'll download with the project name that I gave it at the start, so we can click there. And then next up, we can click share here. You can invite collaborators using their email addresses. You can send it to Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, or create a view-only link. And that's how you create a newspaper front cover using Adobe Express.